Now that is how you bounce back. Baltimore Orioles, they defeat the Cincinnati Reds 9-5. These guys showed up to their 9-5 today, their job, and they got the job done. A lot of storylines to talk about. Really glad they're able to even up the series. Hopefully 2 straight series wins on the way. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll get to all that. This is Kevin and Zach React, your Orioles post-game destination. Gonna be honest with you, probably a shorter one. My eye is still uber messed up. And, I've probably put 2 and 2 together here. And me staring into 2 bright lights every show from multiple shows is probably reverting it back and why it's not getting better. So we're going to go a little shorter today, but that doesn't mean the win is any less important. Zach will be joining us from the streets. He's Bali on the streets again. So we'll dive into everything there. Brandon Young makes his debut. Orioles just mash their way to this victory. 5 home runs on the day. You know what? Yeah, you absolutely love to see it. So I guess let's start with Brandon Young. I know the offense is a huge story, but I do want to talk for a little bit about what we saw to Brandon Young today. 4 innings strong for Brandon Young. 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Allowed, 7 consecutive batters to reach. Although he got some help. He helped himself out with that pick. And then Tyler O'Neill falls over himself, throwing out Austin Hayes at the plate. Those are big plays for a young guy, especially when it seems like nothing is going right for you. He then settled down after that string of batters to reach. And the Orioles offense did end up giving him support. I think that was the biggest thing. When you're a young pitcher, things aren't going your way. And let's say after 3, it was 3-0 instead of 3-3, right? That could have been a really, or I guess 5-3, right? Because the homer happened. But still, after 2, I guess I meant 3-3. That could have deterred his confidence. But I really, look, for a debut, guy coming in, first ever MLB start. I mean, look, I thought that it was fine. You wish you could have gone a little deeper into the game, but I wasn't expecting. I know we joked on the show yesterday that, he's going to go perfect game. Complete 9 innings. No, it's not great. And yeah, Brian, the control of the Orioles pitches over at least the starters over the last 2 games. And honestly, we'll talk about the bullpen. We can, because that's another issue. O's are walking a lot of guys. I mean, you get 3 from Brandon Young, but you really didn't stop there. Brian Baker had 2. Keegan Aiken had another. Gregory Soto had 2. Bowman had another. So, look, you add that up. You want to do some quick math. That's 9 walks for you on the day. That usually is not good enough to win you a baseball game. But the Reds and actually, I'm going to pull up their official numbers because the Reds were pretty abysmal with runners in scoring position for the most part. Let me pull it. If anybody can beat me to it, please do in the chat. Reds were, of course, I'm not going to be able to find it. 3 for 11 were the Orioles, and 4 for 17 were the Reds. So Orioles actually were better percentage-wise than the Reds in that category, even though the Reds had 1 more hit. Reds had so many opportunities to score in this one. But the Orioles pitching staff, despite having some shaky outings from certain guys, Brandon Young, had some moments where it was shaky for him as well, limiting the damage. And I say limiting 5 runs. The Reds could have put up like 15 runs in this game had they hit a little better with runners in scoring position. So we'll see. And actually, hold on. Let me lower the camera a little bit. There we go. This is the usual recording here. I see a lot of people talking about Heston and the man who replaced him. So I guess, look, Zach will come on and we'll talk about Brandon Young a little bit, he and I. I'm just going to do a quick recap of everything and try not to look into the light. Look, Ramon Laureano, Oriole legacy game. We joke about Orioles legends and, this guy's an Oriole. Ramon Laureano, this was a legendary game. Heston Kjerstad gets hit on the elbow. I believe the update, if I'm not mistaken, was day-to-day at elbow contusion. So we'll see. But Laureano comes in, goes 2 for 4 with 2 homers. The absolute bombs that he put on here. He ends up driving in 3 on those. Westy gets his thing going with a homer. He needed that. He goes 1 for 5, but, late homer hopefully will get him back into a groove a little bit. You got Gunnar going Yard, Seti's been on an absolute tear this year. I honestly can't believe Seti is. I mean, I guess I can, but again, the year that he had, it's so compare and contrast. Start he had last year, and then the start he's having this year. I mean, the O's with these 5 homers, they needed him. They really, really, really needed him. And again, this is what I'm talking about, where even if you go down to the Orioles bench, like 1 through 9, these guys can all hit. These guys all have power. But it's about guys stepping up when others don't have it. Adley's in a bit of a tough stretch right now, right? We acknowledged that last night. I can acknowledge it here tonight. Another, not so spectacular game from Adley, 0 for 4 with a walk. He's down to 192 on the season. He had that great hot start to the season, but it's definitely tailed off in a pretty big way since then. You have to have other guys to step up and carry those guys. And, I thought Laureano carried the whole team. The Orioles probably don't win this game without Ramon Laureano and his timely hitting. Tyler O'Neill, timely defense. And he even had a timely hit in this game as well. It's everybody contributing. O'Hearn had the RB. All these guys can hit. And I think that's what makes it so frustrating when they don't. Is because we're not asking every single game for them to score 9 runs. It's obviously not possible, right? We're not holding them to that expectation. But what I like is manufacturing runs. And when I say manufacturing runs, yes, obviously you can talk about, guy on second single drives him home, or bases clearing triple, or whatever it is. But non-solo shots also do that. And look, tonight, the Orioles had, on all of their home runs, it wasn't like all of them were not solo shots, right? I mean, you had Laureano had the 2-run, and then he had the solo shot. Jordan Westberg's, his was a solo shot. I mean, it's not like he didn't hit any, but you were able to get a guy or 2 on base for those, which I thought was really nice. Gunner's obviously back-to-back with Seti was also a solo shot. So I guess really if you add it up, it's 4 solo shots and 1 2-run shot. But regardless, they still got the job done. Would have liked to see a couple more guys on base. But, at the end of the day, 9 runs was enough. The Reds had opportunities. Bases loaded. They get out of it. Walks an issue. They get out of it. Yeah, and as I mentioned, it was timely plays where usually with this team, we've seen it over the past handful of months, dating back even to last season, where it's like, yeah, errors. There was, still. I want to see a 0 in that error column. I don't care how. I don't care how bad or, not bad the errors are. Most errors are bad. I want to see a 0. I want to see a 0 in that error column. We'll get there hopefully one day. But, Baltimore is able to get the job done. It's not able. Actually, Josh Naylor ruined my streak. So, Josh Naylor, your crimes will never be forgotten. We got to restart from 0 there. I was close to taking Seti again. I should have done it, but yeah. I think Corbin Carroll actually had all the Diamondbacks hits, or all but one of their hits. And I picked Corbin Carroll and Josh Naylor. And it's all right. You know what? We start from 0. We're going to win $5.6 million. We're going to do it. But yeah, let's do 1 up, 1 down quickly, and then we'll get to call-ins again. It's a bit of a shorter show today. Zach is on the streets. My eye is uber messed up and not getting better because I have to stare under the light to do my job. So trying to limit light exposure as much as possible. I had to run out and grab some stuff, and even that was a struggle. So we're going to see how that goes. 1 up for me. You can go a lot. I mean, I think it has to be Laureano. I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit. Look, if you say, oh, that's easy, that's an easy pick. I don't care. It's an easy pick. It's the right choice. It's the right choice. Laureano came in. He stepped up when he had to. And usually when that happens, like Heston's playing so well, he comes out of the game, and you're like, oh, man, Laureano, great. Like this guy. And then he comes in and just blasts a 2-run shot and then comes back later and does it again. I mean, Laureano has to be the guy for you that you pick. And look, there are a lot of other guys I see in the chat. Gunner, AJ, for sure. I hear you. And Jason, you took my 1 down. It is definitely Adley. And there are others. I mean, Aiken, I hear you, AJ, on that as well. But, it's tough for Adley right now. It's tough for Adley right now. And the reason I'm giving it to Adley instead of Aiken is because Adley's supposed to be one of your franchise players. And again, I don't want to just completely gloss over the start of the year he had, but there is a conversation to be had about like, yeah, look, guys go through. Look, we just saw Westy break an 0 for 30 slump, right? Guys go through this. We know that Westy is a better player than what is he? What is he hitting now on the season? He's hitting 176 on the year right now. Laureano came in batting below 190. This game today, 2 for 4, upped his average to 190. He wasn't really seeing the ball well at all. Adley's a better player than the 192 will indicate, right? But the issue, and Chuck, you say it here, Rutschman's not really seeing the ball well at the plate. It's a lot of non-competitive at bats at times. And, the O's have hit balls hard all year and, gotten pretty bad luck with that. Adley's had a couple of those as well. But, he hasn't had a hit in his last 5 games? That sounds right. Let me check real quick. I think it's his last 5. Because he had that, multi-game hit streak, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, his last 5 games, he has not had a hit. So he's a better player, but I just, I'm glad that other guys are stepping up. That's what I'll say. Walks also, Kieran, yeah, I agree with you. 9 walks is usually not enough to win you a game. Luckily, the offense produced in this one, though. So very, very glad about that. Zach is just a fakie. He said 8:08 p.m. he'd be on in a minute. Last I checked, a minute is only 60 seconds. We're coming up on 10 minutes, and Zach Ballinger is not in here, so he's probably getting crazy on the streets. Zach is a good kid. We love Mr. White Star Sales on here, although I don't love the fact I haven't gotten my hat yet, and I will not let him forget it. I will not let him forget it. I won't. Is it a lefty again on the mound for the rest of tomorrow? I don't remember. Let me check. Probables for tomorrow. Okay, we don't know. I don't know if it's been announced. I know it's Morton for the O's, which is a whole other experience on the mound. I'm laughing because it's been so comical. Kind of watching the offseason unfold the way that it did, and all of the all the reactions to it. And look, Charlie Morton hasn't been good this season, and no one is more upset about that than Charlie himself. I mean, the way that he talked about his curveball being the go-to pitch and that not really having juice anymore. But this is kind of what happened. And look, Corbin hasn't had the best start in Arizona, right? We know that. But the fact that they were able to do this, and I don't want this to get overlooked as well. The fact that the Orioles did this against Hunter Green, of all people, dominated his signature pitch the way that they did. Hunter Green has been regarded. I mean, who had the quote? I can't remember who the quote was from, but about, Hunter Green needs to be put in conversations with Paul Skeens. Like, this is a guy that's been getting so much hype. And look, he's a heck of a pitcher. I don't want to make it sound like I think he's bad. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball. He is quickly ascending. He's been dominant to start the season, and, he has continued to ascend here. The fact that it was against Hunter Green is unbelievable. I don't want to gloss that fact over. It's all right. He's on the streets. You know who he is. He's the other half of Kevin and Zach React. He lied to me about the time that he was going to.
Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah. Let me know it's Zach. I got time to.
Kevin, service down here is horrendous. I'm just going to be honest.
Are you back in the alley? The alley?
No, we're on the strip tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like a little nook and cranny. I'm actually just on the street, but that's besides the point. Hell of a win, Kevin. Hell of a win.
Oh yeah. Yep. Look, vibes are back again. It's so over, then you're so back.
1, 3, or 4. If you win tomorrow, that's back-to-back series. Suddenly you're building momentum.
Yep. I'll tell you. What were the vibes like at the park today? A little better than last night, I assume.
A lot better than last night, Kevin. A whole lot better than last night. Honestly, first inning, even kind of, before the back-to-back, it was getting, Tyler O'Neill with the incredible throw to get Hayes at the plate, but it wasn't like there was a ton of confidence in kind of what was going on. It kind of felt like one of those eerie, this game could get out of hand fast type feelings. But, Brandon Young, talk about just battling. After the 2 back-to-back home runs to start off the game, it was unbelievable. It felt once again like Orioles magic. Then Ramon Laureano coming off the bench. Can we please stop hitting Heston Kjerstad when he gets hot? For real. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Like clockwork, man. Every time.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. Ramon Laureano, incredible. I thought he had the third. I thought he had a third. I really did, Kevin. I'm not going to lie. Off the bat, I stood up in my seat and I was like, holy shit. Falls just short. Westy, bomb. Absolute bomb. Offense stuttered or stalled, I guess is the better word. Stalled. Holy shit, Kevin. I'm trying to. Oh, never mind. It passed.
You're all right?
Yeah, well, there was this car that just had neon lights like around. You know those like string lights you can attach to the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had it all over their car, but I couldn't turn the camera around fast enough.
Gotta be quicker than that.
That's on me. That's content we missed out on. That's on me, Kevin. But overall, just it felt good to see the offense. I mean, we talked about home run reliant at times, but I feel a lot better when they're hitting the long ball than when they're not.
Yep. I talked about it. 5 homers, 4 of them solo shots. But you know what? When you can they also manufacture some other runs, which help, right? Because if this was maybe last year Orioles game, they would have only had the homers.
Yeah.
And I guess it still would have been enough. Would have been 6-5, but even still.
Kevin, there's just something about one. I have to say, there's something special about when Gunnar Henderson hits a home run. Like, it just sounds different off the bat. Like, every time he gets a hold of one, it genuinely sounds different off the bat than other guys in the league. I mean, and then I can't forget to shout him out. Cedric Mullins is having under the radar one of the best starts to the season, not just for the Orioles, in baseball. I mean, he's up there. I believe he's like still top 5 in RBIs. I mean, dude is having a sensational start to the season.
Yeah, he's been great. And I said that, the compare and contrast from last year's start to this year's start of the year for Seti's unbelievable. We all knew Seti was this type of player. Like, obviously, guys go through stretches. Look, Adley's going through one right now. Westy, I'm hopeful that homer busted him out of that 0 for 30, and he's able to kind of take an upswing from there. But, it makes me feel great when, again, guys step up for other guys. Like, it's not going to be Adley every night, and it hasn't been for the past 5 games. But other guys have been able to step up. Guys that maybe you weren't expecting to even be on the team or been DFA'd by now. Like Laureano, this game bumped his average up to 190. It wasn't like he was, mashing the ball before this. And, I think he might have passed a heck of a lot of Orioles legends with this performance here.
Ramon Laureano, if he would have gone yard that third time, I would never forget that man. Like, if I would have witnessed him go yard after coming in for an injury, after guys hit by a pitch, that would have been one of those things where forever, for the rest of my lifetime, anytime anyone brought up a random Oriole, I'd be like, Ramon Laureano. All-time favorite. But what a performance. And that, I know we give Hyde shit for the lineup and everything. We don't like seeing. I would rather see Kjerstad than Laureano. Ramon Laureano, he's had a very tough start to the season prior to this. He is a good player. He has historically throughout his career been a very good defender and above. He's been an average bat. He's got some pop. He's a good player. He's a very good 4th outfielder. So if he's your 4th outfielder and he's not necessarily, starting 100+ games, he is a very, very nice addition to this team.
And look, another thing I want to continue to point out is we talked about, look, the Reds had so many opportunities in this game to score. 9 walks usually is horrendous, and it is horrendous, but it usually is not enough to win you a game. The Reds were 4 for 17 with runners in scoring position, which is pretty.
Kevin, it felt like they batted the entire game with runners in scoring position,
and they barely got anything out of it. at least based off of how many opportunities they had. The Orioles were 3 for 11. So I guess technically the Orioles did better than what the Reds did. But actually, how many did the Reds leave on base? 13 left on base for the Reds and 10 for the Orioles. So
this whole game, it felt like this entire game, even though there weren't, it kind of lulled for 2-3 innings, I guess 4 innings in the middle. This game felt like there was always guys on base. There's always runners in scoring position, or someone was able to score. It really did. Even going into the ninth inning, at no point did I really feel like this game was in hand.
Yeah, you want the Orioles to make a game easy for you, Zach? Well, tough luck. You're not getting it.
Austin Hayes leading off with that homer in the ninth. I was like, don't do this. I was like, what are we doing here?
I'll never forget your tweet. Not in front of the dogs. Not in front of the dogs.
Not in front of the dogs, man. Oh, my God. If they would have blown that game in front of the dogs, I would have been so disgusted with this organization.
Yeah, you know what? They got it done.
People ask me, like, what would make you, like, not enjoy the Orioles anymore? I would probably take a hiatus from the show for, like, a week. That would have been tough to recover from. I don't want my face around related to the Orioles after they blew the game on fucking Bark at the Park.
God, you can't have it happen. But you know what? It didn't happen. So that's
exactly, Kevin.
Part.
But that's why they're my favorite team, because they respect Bark at the Park.
They respect the animals. And that's what we love. That's what we love. One of the things I also talked about was, early in this game, there were a couple of big momentum plays for the Orioles in the field. Obviously, Brandon Young with the pickoff, and Tyler O'Neill gunning down Austin Hayes at the plate. Brandon Young, what was it, 7 straight batters that reached on him?
Yeah.
The walks were bad, but what did you kind of think of Brandon Young overall for his first start?
Way to battle. I mean, let's call it what it was. It was not the performance he wanted. Even like you said, at one point it was 7 straight batters got on. Yes, he got 2 outs in that with the pickoff and the O'Neill throwing Hayes out at home. It did not look pretty. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't easy. He battled for every single out, but he battled and got it done. What he did today was he went against, like guys, when I hopped on, I heard you talking about, he went up against one of the top 3 pitchers in the NL. One of the highest, I guess, upside pitchers in baseball in Hunter Green, a guy who has had probably the best start in baseball for a starter this season, goes up against him, outduels him, like I called last night. I didn't get the 7 innings, but, we'll still count it. A win is a win, Kevin. He just went out there, and even when he didn't have, he clearly was not fooling the Reds batters. He gave the Orioles an opportunity to win. He kept them in the game, even when he gave up 7 straight batters got on base. He found ways to still work around it, keep them in the game, and leave with the lead.
Yeah, and that's the most important part is, sometimes, when that many consecutive batters reach, like that can be just recipe for disaster, 6-run blow up, like 7-run blow up. But he limited the damage, and that was the theme of the night for the Orioles. It's like, it wasn't just Brandon Young that struggled with his command. I mean, we talked about just how many walks the Orioles had. I mean, it wasn't good. Like Soto had a couple, and then he's able to get out of it. Aiken wasn't great. Like 9 total walks for a team. That might be one of the highest numbers of the year for any team in the league. And the Reds are only able to get 5 runs out of it. So for his first ever start, I give a lot of credit to Brandon Young for what he was able to do. Again, wasn't perfect. You're right. Wasn't the start he wanted, but I think he at least showed something today, which is he battles. And that's what you need to win some of these games. This is not always going to look pretty. It didn't look pretty today, but the offense did their job. The offense picked him up. Tyler O'Neill picked him up. Like, those are the little things that can contribute to that.
How can one of the telltale signs of a good pitcher is how they respond when things are not going their way. How can they work out of things when they clearly are not fooling batters? Batters are on time. They're seeing the ball out of his hand. And today he battled. He kept the Orioles in it, and he did not get the win, but he deserved it for how he how he kept them in the game, left with the lead against one of the league's best pitchers. You literally couldn't ask for anything more.
Yep. I love it. I love it. All right, let's get the call-in link going. And actually, we have a Pocket Watch. Thank you to $5. Love Zach in the streets.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, come on. All right, you got to do a cartwheel for that. You got to do a cartwheel for that.
Oh, hold up. Oh,
were you about to hold your phone and clap with your? Yep.
Had to.
Yeah. All right, it's cartwheel time. Come on. Yeah, cartwheel.
No cartwheel. No cartwheel.
My. Come on.
Or we're not. It was a 4:00 game, Kevin, and maybe if this was a 7 p.m. game, if we were opening day after opening day, you could have probably gotten a cartwheel out of me.
Wow. Well, you know what? We'll just. I'll have to make sure. We need to do one. And then I probably am going back to that hotel that apparently the curse started in, so I'll have to reverse that curse as well. I've already reversed one.
I think you'll have to do the cartwheels going away from the camera.
Yeah. If we reverse the other, the Orioles might win the World Series. It might just happen. All right. Let me get the call-in link going. What's this? All right.
My mother just texted me to do a cartwheel. Mom, I'm not doing a cartwheel.
See, everybody wants it. Everybody wants it.
Mother, I'm not doing it. But what happened to being supportive?
That is being supportive. All right, we got the call-in link going, so if you want to join, talk to us for a few minutes about the game, we'd love to have you. This is Kevin and Zach React, your Orioles post-game destination. Oh yeah, that sounded like my street.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, man. All right, let's get the call-ins rolling. We already got one in here.
My entire family is texting me. I'm not doing a cartwheel.
Zach,
we have way too much foot.
Everybody knows what the right decision is, except for you.
There's way too much foot traffic and glass here. We don't need to.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe if you find a place without some glass, we don't want you getting hurt.
I was gonna say if I was back in the usual alley, I probably would. We are just in the middle of the strip, so it's not a lot to go off of right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe while we're talking to the Collins, you can go find a place. But let's get our first one going. Joe, we're gonna bring him on. Joe, where's the cart, man? I need the reveal.
Yeah, I apologize about that. We had some technical difficulties with a phone call coming in.
That's priorities. That's all right. I get you.
I like sleeping inside my house, so
that's important, isn't it? Yeah.
If I denied the call, I might be outside.
I know. Well, you know what, Laureano, we can give him the extension of the Heston magic. I think Heston passed his magic on to Ramon.
I want to put out an official protest to the click to pick. I picked Heston today. The lineup spot should be where it's at due to injury. He wasn't pinch hit for. A couple other people in the contest on Facebook did also comment. They protest. So we need an official review. Putting it out there.
So Heston counted against it?
No, it's a home run contest every day.
Home run. Okay.
You click to pick. You click to pick. And at the end of the year, you win the prize if you have the most. So I should have 2 more. But we've been working outside all day. So
what you working on out there?
The other night, we went to the Big Orange Box store and got a bunch of stuff. So we got the yard.
Oh, look at that dog reveal. Yeah, look at that.
We got the mulch laid down and the yard mowed today.
Looking good.
It's looking a little good. Looking decent. Flowers out here.
Yeah, Zach's ruining your moment, Joe. Sorry about that.
So we got the new flower. And,
look at that. I love it.
It's
Let's
a
go.
work in progress, but we got it going on today.
Hey, you know what? Just like the Orioles, work in progress, but they got it going on. That's what it is.
And yeah, we were listening to the game on the radio.
Very nice.
Jeff and Brett, they gave shout outs to everyone that tweeted in where they were listening from. They forgot me, but that's okay. That's
Oh
okay.
man, you can't
That's
forget
okay.
Arkansas.
They did shout out another guy in Arkansas doing yard work, pulling weeds, and I got excited thinking it was
That
me.
wasn't that wasn't
But
you.
it was a totally other guy pulling
Oh,
weeds in Arkansas that was listening to the damn Orioles game.
man, small world, isn't it? Small world.
It is. But
Crazy.
unfortunately, the Razorbacks dropped 2-3 to A&M. But that's okay.
You know what? Long season.
Mid-season
Bounce back.
slump. I'd rather lose now than in June. So
Yep.
mid-season slump.
I feel it. All right, Joe. Anything else before we get you out of here?
O's are fine.
Oh, there it is. There
Controversial.
it is.
Long way to go.
Yep.
Long way
let's
to go. That's the new.
That's the new one.
tagline.
That's the
Long
new
way
one.
to go.
Ryan started that shit. Like
I know.
he knows what he's doing.
Apparently,
That's
every
the
year
new
is going to be a new saying. Who knows?
Long
what's
way
gonna
to
be
go.
next year.
Put it on
Long
a
way.
T-shirt.
You got to get it
Also-
going. Got to get it going.
Also, get Jason a kidney. Somebody get that man a kidney.
Get him.
True.
Get him.
Rocco, you're in Georgia. Go give Jason a kidney.
Yeah. Come on.
Just give it to him.
Come on.
I don't care if it matches. You don't need it. He needs it.
The matching part might be important, but yes, get
Yeah,
Jason a kidney. Awesome, Joe. Appreciate you as always, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, later, guys.
All right, peace out, man. Gotta love it. Yeah, you got like trucks zooming in the back.
I'm telling you, I'm in the middle of the main strip. Like this was, we're not ideal.
You need to go to Vegas one time and do a
I
body
know,
on
and
the
then
streets from Vegas.
I'm putting it out there now. My phone is on 17. I don't have.
Oh, don't pull that 3%.
No, but I want it out now before this goes on and the call-ins and people are like, "Yo, what is going on?" I want it.
Yeah, and then in 2 minutes it'll miraculously be at 3%. Oh, I gotta go. It's 3%. Yeah, I know what you do. I know what you do.
Don't gaslight me.
Okay. All right, King Gaslighter. All right, let's get to our next guy. We got Steve in the back. Steve, what's going on, man?
Brandon Young didn't look that bad today.
Hey, for a first start, I thought it was all right. Struggle with the command a little bit, had the stretch of guys reach, but Zach talked about it. It's like for your first start, having the poise not to let that snowball. And again, Tyler O'Neill picked him up. He had the pick off to help himself out. Usually with young pitchers, and look, we've seen this with Cade. Right? Cade is an example of this, where sometimes this does snowball on you in a hurry. But the fact that he was able to get through 4 despite all of that happening, look, I love it when the pitchers go six or more. I wasn't expecting that out of Brandon Young today. For a first start, you would have maybe liked to see a little more, but I thought he showed a lot, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. I would have loved to have seen him go 5, but I can understand with his pitch count where it was.
Right.
But the offense, I did not have 2 sets of back-to-back homers on my bingo card today.
I'll take it, though.
Oh, absolutely. But for me, player of the game, Laureano, hands down.
Has to be. Again, when something like that happens and Heston's playing the way that he is, you don't expect the replacement to come in and essentially be Heston again and have that magic, and let alone this is a guy that was hitting again. This stretch hit him up to 190. He wasn't hitting the ball well before this. So sometimes you just need a guy to step up. And Laureano, to me, I'm not saying you can trust him is an everyday outfielder, but this was a spot moment for him, and that's what you need, just guys to come through.
Exactly. And if I remember correctly, Adley was the only guy without a hit today?
I believe
yes,
that is correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, yeah, not counting Heston, but Heston didn't go to the plate, so
That's true. Question is, I know we have an off day Monday. How do we work the bullpen tomorrow with Morton on the mound?
Pray he goes 5 at
Go
least.
6.
Pray he goes 5 at least. If we're getting another one of these 4 1/3, 3 2/3, they might be in some trouble.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And Westy busting out of that slump, I'm thinking this could be the start of that hot streak he needs.
you know what? Sometimes all it takes is one, and that's in all sports. Like sometimes all it takes is one, and Westy being over 30 is uncharacteristic, first of all. But him and Adley weren't producing, it was other guys that stepped up, and so hopefully he can break out of that. But they do need Westy. They need him and Adley. They need both of them to get it going a little bit. So,
and I think the way Seti's going, 30-30 is not out of the picture.
Not out of the question. Not out of the
Not at
question.
all.
Looking more and more likely every day because he's hitting a homer seemingly every day. So,
but I'm going to say this: just go out, win the series tomorrow, take the day off, go to DC, take out the Nats, and go from there.
Let's do it.
I just hope Hyde doesn't fuck up the lineup tomorrow like he did yesterday.
Yeah, just keep Seti in the leadoff spot. It's working. I like Gunnar at the 2 spot. We've talked about that. Gunnar in 2 or 3. You might maybe he'll surprise people and move Adley down. I don't know how that'll work, but I just Seti in the leadoff spot. Gunnar at 2 and 3. Keep Jackson in. Hopefully Heston's all good to go. So love it, Steve. Anything else on the way out?
The O's are fine. And it's gonna be a series win tomorrow.
Hey, you know what? I said before this series, win 5 or 6. That is still in the cards for that Reds and National stretch. So I'm hoping it stays that way. But Steve, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for popping on.
Not a problem, guys.
Awesome. All right. Peace
Appreciate
out,
you,
Steve.
Steve.
Boom, 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 boom. All right. Let's move it all along. Next up, we go to Australia. The man himself. It is AJ. We're going to bring him on. AJ, what's going on, man?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Could not do it yesterday. I was about halfway through the game. And my cousin and my mom were like, "You want to go to the beach?" And I was like, "I want to do anything but watch this game."
You know what? I don't blame you.
Happy Easter from the land down under.
Happy Easter.
But great game today. Brandon Young did what he needed to do. I'm going to have a little bit of beef with Ramon Laureano just because could our lefty killers start killing lefties, please? Tell me why Tyler O'Neill has struck out in all of his plate appearances against lefties and Ramon Laureano is just raking against righties right now. Could they are these lefty lineups that Hyde has in his head would be amazing if these guys just hit lefties.
It seems like they did some of that Monstars action where, in this game, Laureano takes all the O'Neill power and just rakes him.
God.
And the Heston. I mean, Heston came out kind of, maybe did a little handshake and all that power goes to Laureano. So, I mean, I'll tell you what. Look, solid win overall. You would like to see the walks cut down. I mean, this staff has walked a decent amount this season, but all things considered, offense shows up. Other guys are stepping up, and a win is a win is a win. So you love
it. A win is a win is a win. Bullpen was messy, but it got it done.
Mm-hmm.
My one down is still Aiken because Aiken is one of those guys that has the ability to go multiple innings, and I think that's what was originally planned. Right. And he couldn't, and we had to use 7 relievers today.
Yeah, he didn't have it. So
we'll
see what that means for tomorrow.
Again,
yeah.
And I'm telling you, people are gonna be upset about it. The guy getting sent down is Brandon Young.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
and it's absolutely the right move. Povich has more proven experience, even though rough outing for him yesterday that I wasn't really here to talk about, but I'm sure y'all already talked it to death. But tomorrow we got Charlie Morton versus Random Man from Cincinnati. And all you can hope is that the Random Man from Cincinnati is right-handed.
Yeah, it was Zach's actually, you see him on the streets. He's going to be walking to the park tomorrow to start for Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, he might, even throwing the game for Cincinnati, he might still be better than Morton. So
I pray he goes 5. Then
if he goes 3, we might need to pull Chris Davis in
That's what I'm saying. If
We're
he
still
gives another
paying
one
him.
of those 4 1/3, 3
Oh my-
2/3,
I will just turn the
Zach might
game
have
off,
to
like-
go pitch for the Orioles.
And yeah, Bowman threw it, but he wanted to give Batista the save, so we got to appreciate him.
Yeah, I just
And MVP for that Reds reliever that just went the entire distance.
Now
Saved
they
them.
need to figure out what they're doing. So,
Well,
5 of
great
6
game
still in
today.
play.
Gunnar Henderson is all the way back. Adley Rutschman will be back. Jordan Westbrook, once he starts using the other way, he's back. Cedric Mullins, give him $1 billion, Mike Elias. What are we doing? The Birds are fine. Let's get a series win tomorrow.
Let's do it. I love it, AJ. Appreciate you, man. Anything else on the way out?
No, that'll be all. Happy Easter, everybody.
Boom. Happy Easter, AJ. Appreciate you popping on. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
Boom. All right. How you doing out there on the street, Zach? Everything good?
Yeah, we just had like legitimately over 100 motorcycles just go through here, so I had to get off for a second, but
that's content in itself. You could have panned the camera over there. Oh, there, I hear another one. Crazy. All right, well, we got one more call in to go. She knows who she is. It is Laura. Laura, we're living and dying by the long ball. That's the O staple, and they were alive today.
Oh my God! I mean, it's great, and I love how Laureano came in and hit that home run, and I'm sitting there going, he's like, "That's for you, Silent J," since he got hit. Just hoping that he's going to be okay, that, it's not going to be a long-term stint, that it's just kind of a day-to-day soreness thing for Heston. So, what else? I mean,
What'd you think about Brandon Young?
oh, Brandon was fine. I mean, I think he could have gone a little bit longer into the game, but Hyde is
I get it.
Hyde is Hyde.
I
I'll just say it
understand.
like that. Hyde is Hyde. So I finished up making the deviled eggs for tomorrow. Kevin, have you gone to the urgent care yet?
I haven't, because I woke up and my eye was better, and now I guess like being in the light has made it worse.
Okay.
So, but again, I think the big reason is because, like, for my job, I have to have these 2 lights staring at me all the time, and so I'm just trying to limit the exposure. That's all I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna nag you like your mother.
If it's not fully better and I don't have any setbacks by Monday, I'm gonna go, no matter what. So,
all right. You better like message me or text me that you are like at the urgent care. Okay?
I'll do a little selfie on the table. Okay,
please. Okay. Zach, are you still there with your? What are you?
Zach
we're making it work, Laura. We're making it work.
Okay. Where's Molly?
She is inside again. It's hectic out here.
Okay. Apparently, Baltimore is hip and happening on a Saturday night, which is
It's bumping. We're bumping out here.
Zach's gonna be out there probably till like 2 a.m.
Which is great. What else did I want to say? Because I wanted to talk about my 1 up and 1 down. Oh, so I'm worried about tomorrow's game because apparently Sayanel is the only person in the bullpen we didn't use today.
Hopefully we get last games,
and we all know that Charlie is,
They need the performance of his life tomorrow.
Let me put it this way. I dropped Charlie from my fantasy teams this week because that's how bad Charlie has been.
That was the right decision. Yeah.
I'm really worried about tomorrow's game, so I'm not going to say that we're, I want to be optimistic because I'm a fan, but I'm also a realist, and I'm just going to be realistic. If we win tomorrow, I will eat the dog.
Oh,
yeah. Not really. Not really. It's really eating the dog is really just me going. Oh.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
And that dog is now like, what did you wake me up for? I mean, but if they don't win, I just don't want us to be, back down, way down,
you
where the sky is falling.
You can see it coming for the reason why it would happen.
Correct. So just just be realistic, Orioles fans. If we don't get the win tomorrow, the sky is not falling. We have the day off on Monday, and we can bounce back against the Nats. If they do win, celebration time. We're
Yeah.
taking Monday
World
off. We're
Series.
all
World
taking
Series.
Monday off. No, we're celebrating late into the night tomorrow. We're all taking Monday off from work because we're going to be drunk. Yes.
Man, that's how you do it. Zach will be out on the streets on a Sunday if the Orioles
Exactly.
win. That's
Bali in the streets. Bali and Molly in the streets.
See?
It's something
That's
down
the
here.
new show. That's the new. That should be the new show on the Ryan Ripken channel. Bali and Molly in the streets.
We'll have to make something happen, Laura. There.
Just live stream your whole night out. That's the perfect way to do it.
That works for me. I can live vicariously through you young kids.
Yeah, exactly. Laura, appreciate you as always. Anything else for us on the way out?
Adam says, "Got to get straight A's, Laura." Yes, I've got the straight A's, baby. I mean,
never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
If
I want to go and become a nurse anesthetist at some point, I'm going to need straight A's to get into CRNA school. So,
we believe in you over here. So
now I remember what I wanted to say. Why are we not signing Cedric Mullins again?
Hopefully tomorrow. Who knows?
Hopefully we're going to sign him tomorrow. Okay.
Well, I'm saying hopefully. I mean, and then after that, if it doesn't happen, hopefully the next day, and then after that, the next day. I mean,
okay, because
they have to sign somebody. Sign one person, please.
please. And Cedric Mullins would not be a bad one to re-sign. He wants to stay in Baltimore. He loves Baltimore. Why don't we just make that happen? And he's showing why he should stay.
I think if he continues to go on the year he's having now, he might price himself out. So get it done early.
But I mean, I get that Charlie Morton is a little bit older and Sagano is a little bit older, but this is their first year here. Seti's come up through the organization. So he is the de facto leader, correct?
He's one of the vets. Yeah, one of the respected vets.
Right, he's one of the respected vets. You got to keep those guys around, especially when you have such a young core. My opinion. So you all talk to Hyde, get that taken care of.
Yeah, Zach, that's your responsibility. Go to the park tomorrow. Talk to Brandon Hyde.
Hello, does Ryan not have the ear of an owner of the team?
Is he related to one? I'm not. Is he related to? I don't know.
I mean, he was sitting next to him the other night. Like, what?
I know we were talking about. You got the Brandon going on. We're talking about it. So.
All right, you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.
All right, yes. Talk to you tomorrow, Laura.
Have a great Easter brunch, and
you as well.
If I have any deviled eggs left over, I'll eat one on screen for you guys.
All right, you know what? That's the content we need.
There you go.
All right, Laura. Appreciate you as always. Talk soon.
See ya.
All right. Bye, Laura. All right, Zach. Got anything else for me on the streets, or is it too bustling down there?
It is getting louder as the seconds go on, Kevin. So
I know you're in for a wild one tonight. Is that what you're alluding to?
I don't know about that, but it's gonna be loud. That's for sure.
Well, protect your ears. I'll protect my eyes, and maybe one between the two of us, we'll have one functioning set of ears and eyes by the time tomorrow.
I hope so, Kevin. As Kodak said, I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. All right. So nothing on the way out from you.
Nope, nothing. All
right. O's win
the series.
Yep. O's win 9-5. Get the job done. Go for the series win tomorrow. I have to eat a Sour Patch watermelon on my TikTok tomorrow because Josh Naylor sold me, even though I had Corbin Carroll. So Corbin Carroll, I think, had every one of the Diamondbacks hits except for one. So, you live and you die by the D-backs. That's how it goes. Be sure to follow me over there on TikTok and every other place, Twitter, Instagram, Catcher34. You can follow Zach Bollinger at ZachBollinger18 on X and on Instagram, just Zach Bollinger. See how I remember that? And you can go and keep up with everything we're doing. And if you want to keep up with the Orioles, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button over here on Kevin and Zach React, your Orioles post-game destination. So that's all we got for you. We'll see you back here tomorrow, hopefully after a series win. But win or lose, we'll be talking O's. Greg's on.
Bro, I was just going to say Greg's on.
No,
There's
you
no
weren't.
freaking way. There is no way.
It's because you took Teagard and I was going the catcher. I remembered. Now you're on the spot.
Chris Dickerson.
Wow.